Good morning. This is Congressman Garamendi. Good news for you. Congress is leaving town for the next 2.5 weeks, so nothing terrible is going to happen in Congress. But as you can see, I'm inside right now because it is stormy in Washington, D.C. this morning. We expect thunderstorms, and I'm not just referring to the weather. Ryan and Trump are at it again. They're trying to revise their health care fiasco. We start with 24 million Americans losing their health insurance, prices likely to go up, and now they're working with the conservatives trying to figure out how to make it even worse. So there's bad news ahead, bad storms, maybe tornadoes, but we'll see. The legislative process has gone bizarre, from bad to terrible. We'll see what happens when we get back from the Easter recesses. There are some good things happening. Think for a moment that for California, in my district, the federal government did approve $247 million to repair the spillway at Oroville Dam. That means that my constituents, 150,000 of them just downstream from that disastrous spillway incident, are likely to be safer for this winter. The rest of that project is going to be well over $1 billion, which speaks to the issue that we have before us, which is the infrastructure of America. It is old. It is falling down. There are incidences with bridges collapsing, railroad lines where trains fall off the tracks. We've got a whole series of problems in infrastructure, and yet we've not heard a thing from the Trump administration about what they propose to do. But I know what we should do. I know that we must move money from the over-budgeted military appropriations, like $1 trillion for new nuclear weapons and delivery systems, and move that money over to something that's really important to us, which is our infrastructure, our safety here at home, from dams that have the potential of collapsing to bridges that we do know have collapsed. That's the priority that I have. And oh, by the way, our president wants to take $5 billion out of the National Institutes of Health, where we do research on things like Zika and other kinds of illnesses, and move that over to his wall. Can you believe that? Money that we know will save American lives from terrible incidences of cancer, Alzheimer's, Zika, on, and move that to build a worthless wall on the southern border. We're going to need your help. You've got to stand tall, you've got to be resolute, and you've got to continue to speak out against the craziness of the Trump administration. I'll try to do one of these when I get back in my district next week to bring you up to date on what's happening in the beautiful part of California, the Sacramento Valley, where I represent over 200 miles of the Sacramento River, as well as the great inland delta of California, the largest estuary on the west coast of the Western Hemisphere. We'll talk about that next week. Right now, thankfully, we're going to leave town for the next 2.5 weeks without any further damage coming out of this Congress. Hang on, it's going to be a wild ride out ahead.